Hey, everybody, welcome to AMP today. Today, we're going to be talking about it all starts with mindset. And I'm joined with my fellow colleague, Chris Janzon. And we've got a plethora of people joining us here on the call. But if you're watching the replay, we want to extend a big welcome to you as well. So, Chris, welcome to AMP.
Rob, everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching and seeing this. Hope you're well.
That's it. So, I wanted to start off by saying there's an old saying that as a man thinketh, so is he. And for those of us in real estate, our minds can play amazing tricks on us, can't they, Chris?
Yeah. It's the most powerful weapon, but also can be the most detriment to you.
It can be
Yourself and
a
your business.
massive liability, And so when we're thinking about that, so the first thing is, the way that you're thinking, that totally impacts your bottom line. It impacts how you prospect. It impacts the tools you invest in. It impacts the brands you associate with. It impacts whether or not you are copying abuse from people or not. It impacts just every aspect of your business. So as we're starting to talk about this, I just wanted to encourage you to be positive about what you're doing. Not that every situation is positive, but that we can bring a positive mindset to the situation. And as we do, you'll see that the wrong people disappear out of your life, and you will attract more of the right people into your life. Which brings me to probably one of the most well-known Jim Rohn quotes, and he probably stole it from somebody else, but you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. What do you think about that, Chris?
Couldn't agree any more, Rob. I've cut people out of my life, my world, for that reason, that were friends of mine for many, many years, decades, in fact, and not easy to do, but you've only got one shot at this life, and it's so true. The more smarter, clever, empowering 5 that I've surrounded myself with, life gets a lot easier. There's a lot less noise.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to make a dramatic cut, but a lot of times you just have to just disengage a little bit.
Yeah.
You just have to disengage. So you don't actually have to go, right, Chris, you suck. I'm going to find some positive people and move on with that. But you can just over time make a decision to do that. Now, I want to just pull up how many of you are familiar with the work of Carol Dweck? Anybody heard of Carol Dweck? Some people, yep. Dwayne saying yes, that's great. Carol Dweck, she is one of those brainy people working at some big university in the US on the West Coast, and she wrote a book called A Growth Mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that, as we are real estate agents, we need to challenge ourselves. Are we in a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? And when we think about that, what are the parameters for that? So if you can think about when you were back in school, do we have anyone that did really, really well in school? A lot of times real estate agents didn't. A lot of times real estate agents were like, no, I did not do well in school. But that's okay. And that's probably why you have the power to be a little bit more successful, because as she talks about the story of her research into whether you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, she talks about people that grew up in school where they were top at what they did. They knew their multiplication, their times tables, they got their grammar down, they learned all those things, and they were just really perfectionistic at that. As they mature and they become adults, they really struggle, because real life it's not about that. Real life is about getting punched in the face and then being able to recover from that. And so here's a few signs that you might be dealing with a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. when you have a failure, it wipes you out for 3 days. You can't handle failure because you've been brought up in a world where you are striving for perfection. And if you can't handle failure, or it really impacts you negatively, that's a symptom and a sign of being in a fixed mindset. Whereas on the flip side, if you're in a growth mindset, you realize that failure is actually part of success. You can't actually be successful without failure, or if you are, it's a real big fluke. And so, Chris and I've had many chats over the years, like, yep, tried that. Boy, that was the wrong thing to do, and yeah, like even when you're talking about just sharing the EXP opportunity with people, how many mistakes have we made along the way, Chris?
Oh, too many, but I value and appreciate every mistake and every learning, though.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
the growth mindset, I guess.
Yeah, and when you go to an appraisal for a listing, if you came out of the franchise system, there are particular franchise systems that were all about, this is what we do at the appraisal process. We go in and we tell them how many awards we won. We tell them where the office is. We tell them how many people can stand in the photo in a fig leaf position, and we tell them how amazing we are. And then for some of you that have migrated from that kind of a system over to EXP, and you've discovered the 5Ws method, you're like, oh wait, this is completely different.
Yeah.
This is completely different.
Yeah.
So as we're moving forward, we want to be positioning ourselves into that open-mindedness, that ability to think, okay, so I'm here, I want to go here. What are some of the strategies that can get me there? And I'll talk just briefly about some of the things that I have used in the back that have worked for me. But one of the first things that I'd like to say to you that is, if you are 100%, like if you're in a position in life where you want to improve yourself or you want to get better, one of the first things that you need, and this is me to a T, right? So every time I get into a slump or into a fog, I know that I'm not actually moving my body enough, which seems weird. I remember listening to a podcast a few years ago where a guy his business was going under. He was basically sitting at home watching Netflix, feeling sorry for himself, and he got a business coach that came alongside of him and did a situational analysis, like, you're feeling blue, you're not doing well, you're not hitting your targets, your company's going down the gurgler. What I want you to do is get on your running shoes and go for a run. And the guy was like, what? No, you don't understand. I got cash flow issues. I got this, I got that. He goes, yeah, I want you to go for a run. And the guy was like, what do you mean? He goes, just do it. Just go for a run every day for the next 7 days, and then we'll chat again. And that's the only thing he gave him as some kind of a strategy to make it through. But what happens, of course, when you do exercise, your lymph starts moving, your body starts moving, your brain gets some clear air into it, and you start actually controlling things that you can control. And the next thing, new ideas, fresh ideas come into your mind, and those kind of things. Chris, have you ever seen any or experienced any examples of that kind of a thing where you've shifted what you're doing? Because you're very focused. Like, one of the things, if you don't know Chris well, he's very focused. He has this amazing power to just go boom and then plow through the work. Does that resonate with you at all, mate?
We're all very similar, Rob, in that sense that we all have fog and good days and bad days, and we all come with baggage, and we all have shit going on in our lives and our world. The difference is what we do to handle and manage it. So yeah, mate, I'll give you an example. Last week, I was pretty crook. I didn't train. I didn't move much. I have this 10-second cold shower every morning. I wasn't doing that last week because I wasn't well. So last week, it felt like the week was getting the better of me. Time was getting in front of me and I couldn't catch up. It was just me running through the mud. And as creatures and human beings, consistency and structure absolutely is the blue chip that's built in within all of us that influences your mindset. Now, this week, I'm obviously feeling a lot better. and I'm not the fittest guy, mate. I'm not going to run a marathon. I'm not going to pump out 10Ks, 100Ks a week on a bike, whatever it might be. But just by doing that movement, pumping some iron, moving some weights, moving the body, this week, I already feel ahead of time and time's not getting the better of me. And here's the interesting part of it. My week this week is actually busier than last week. And last week, I felt like I was running through mud. This week, I feel I'm ahead of where I needed to be just because of how I started. Morning routine, morning structure, morning movement, feeling good. Cold showers are back, 10 seconds. The endorphins are flying, mate. So you're right in the sense that structure and consistency influence and equals what your mindset is. Like I was talking to somebody at the gym today, a lady who works in the creche, and she goes, we can tell when the parents walk in what sort of kid we're getting for that day. I said, really? Why is that? She goes, the parents that walk in that are chilled, here's the kid, no probs, I might be 45, I might be an hour. That baby in the creche is a godsend. The parents that come in this flurry, flying, stress, oh my God, I'm late, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, yeah, guess what the kid's like? They're mirroring the adult, the behaviors of the adult. And we arrived at this conversation because she was asking me about our baby. How's our baby? I'm like, she's chill.
We lost your audio.
She's sleeping heaps. And she said, well, that's interesting because I work in a creche and I deal with 40 to 50 kids at any given time. And I'll tell you why that is. I see you. I know who you are in business and as a person coming to the gym here, and you're always relaxed. You're chilled. Structure, consistency, routine, mindset.
Yeah. And I think it all comes down to if I was coaching anyone, I would be talking about their mindset first, their activities and whatnot. But for a lot of people, the reason that the mindset's not where they want it to be, or they need to make a shift in their mindset, is the fact that they don't have any clear life plan. They don't have any actual written down life plan. So if you know someone like that, and you might see someone like that on a daily basis in the mirror, all I'd say to you is write down physically, not type it, write down on a piece of paper, what is my ideal life? Where do I want to live? Who do I want to hang out with? What kind of income do I want to have? Who do I want to associate with? What kind of clients do I want to attract? What kind of things that I want to do with my spare time? Where do I want to go on holidays? What kind of car do I want to drive? What kind of things and people and person and probably most importantly, what kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to be generous? Do I want to be mean and cranky? Do I want to be? And we all stuff up all the time. Like we go, cool, this is my intention, this is where I want to go. But as you're moving, particularly if you're moving into a new zone, then you're going to have issues where you don't hit your targets immediately and that kind of stuff. Chris, I want to ask you something. Do you do anything in the scope of I know you have some very clear goals and that kind of stuff. Do you do anything on a daily basis around your goals or about your morning routine that you want to share with us? I mean, you were just talking about cold showers, and I was thinking that's fantastic for you. 30
days, man, I tell you, it becomes the norm if you can break the 30-day mark. And I'm back to day 3 because I stopped last week. So my 30-day habit ritual begins again. So and it felt cold this week. It felt a lot colder this week than it did the week prior to being sick. But probably outside of structure, mate, there's a few things that I think we forget to do on a more regular basis. As human beings, manifestation is a really, really powerful tool. And how many on this call right now or watching this replay can actually look yourself in the mirror right now and say, you are manifesting today what you want to achieve, and you're manifesting what you want to achieve this week. Now, most agents, Rob, that I talk to and help with their cycles of life and business, they're just getting out of bed to get into the routine of just getting the day started to do the job and task at hand without actually manifesting the reason why. So one of the things I do every morning when I have my cold shower, I've done my morning routine, is I manifest. What do I want to get out of today? I know the diary is pointing me in the direction I need to go, but I manifest what I want as the outcome when I get home today. What is it I want to achieve? what is my manifestation of this week? And it's crazy, man. Like a lot of shit I've manifested over my life, it's come to fruition. You'll be amazed. And a lot of people achieve it, but without actually thinking and utilizing manifestation as a powerful tool. Now, the other thing I want you to think of is the great man, Matt McConaughey, did a wonderful speech, I think in 2021 when he won the Grammy Award. And there's 3 simple steps that he lives by in his life. And you'd have to agree, Matt McConaughey, very famous actor, very wealthy man, yet somebody who's incredibly grounded and super talented, right? And the 3 principles that he lives by is, number 1, you've got to have something to look up to. So ask yourself this question today as part of your manifestation, as part of your mindset. Disregard any structure, disregard any cold shower. What is it that you're looking up to? Now, if you're a religious man like Matt is, or Bjorn is, it might be the great man above, and that's fine. But ask yourself, have you got something today and tomorrow and this week and this month that you're looking up to? The second thing is that you need to have something to look forward to. So what is it that you're looking forward to? It could be very simple, Rob, like Sunday is my family day. All days blocked out to just spend time with my family. So I know for the next 6 days, high volume, high productivity, I've manifested what I want to achieve out of this week. But when Sunday comes, all that shit, that's behind me now, forgetting about it because I'm just there for family day. Something to look forward to can be, far greater than that too, though. But just what is it that you're actually aspiring and looking forward to? I know, Rob, in my former business life, one of the things I used to do with all my agents, as soon as they came back from a annual leave, I used to check in with them and I'll talk to them. How's your trip? Tell me, show me your photos. Awesome. What'd you do? What was the experience like? Cool. Here's your annual leave form. I want you now to submit your next lot of annual leave for when you're next taking your next holiday. And I want it to be within the next 90 days. And they'll be like, what? Because you need something to work and look forward to. Because I knew that if those good, solid, producing, performing agents didn't have something to strive towards in that 90-day period, they burn themselves out because they just keep going. They just keep going daily in the hamster wheel. And the third one is someone to chase. Who are you chasing? So Matt McConaughey was himself, his younger self. Yep. It could be someone like me. It could be someone like Rich Tomasini, Hank Avick. It could be whoever it is. But I think they're the 2 things out of the daily routine that I want to talk about, mate. The gym, the health, the well-being, and the structure is manifestation. What are you manifesting today and this week? And what are you looking up to? What are you looking forward to? And who is it you're chasing?
Yeah, that's some really powerful stuff. And we'll go for another maybe 5 minutes, but what I'll want to talk about now is how do we actually do what Chris just talked about? How do we do that in a tangible way on a regular basis? And I'd say to you, get yourself a little, this is a notebook, right? So it's just a small little notebook and it's got some pages in it. And you got things like, I've just written some notes in there, and each day find yourself, if you got to get up a little bit earlier. Yep, there's Chris. He's got his. If there's the power of creation is in the word. It's in the pin, and find yourself a quiet corner. And if you've got family, you got to get kids to school and all that kind of stuff. You either have to get up earlier to do that, or you have to chisel time after the school flow goes. There's no magic time that you have to do this. But what I'd say is 3 things that you're grateful for every day. Gratitude is the fuel that will just change your life, because no matter how bad you are, or you feel you are, or you have stuff to deal up, or you're just whatever, just be grateful for 3 things, every day. You can write more, but 3 things that you're grateful for every day. 3 goals that are your big focus for the quarter. What is my big goal for the quarter? And 3 to-dos that day that you want to work on. and 3 people you want to touch base with that day. And it doesn't necessarily have to be from a business point of view. It could be just a friend that you're checking in on. It could just be a family member that you're checking in on. How you going? What's going on? You know, and there is something, there's an old passage that says it's better to give than to receive. When you come with gratitude, you know what you're trying to accomplish, and then you're checking in on people, you're giving, and that will just fuel and fill your tank. If you couple that with not being afraid to make mistakes, you couple that with the 5 people that you're spending the most time with, you can change your life so fast. So fast. You'd be surprised. 7 days of that, like Chris mentioned, 30 days for the habit. So now he was off of his cold showers. He's got to go back into the is it 10 seconds a day that you're doing?
10 seconds. That's all you need to do. 10 seconds pure cold shower.
Yeah, that's and that's something I could do. I'm pretty sure. But
you feel it. I feel the blood flow. As soon as it hits the head, that cold water.
It starts to change you. You know, we every 7 years we're completely new people from a biological standpoint. You know, new cells, all that. We're completely new every 7 years. But we're not only be focused on our physical renewal, but our mental renewal, which cannot help but impact the way we are in our communities and with our clients, and helping you hit your financial and family goals. Chris, any final thoughts?
I'll share with you a pretty raw conversation I had with a close friend of mine the other day who's seeing the black dog. I've known this guy for 20 years, so you want no one ever to see the black dog. I've not seen the black dog, so I don't know what that's like. So I'm trying to understand, right? But this is what gratitude's all about. He rang me up in a bad place and everything was not good, right? This is bad, that's bad, I've got nothing to live for. And I broke it down to him very simply. I said, mate, I'm surprised because looking from the outside in, you've got a wonderful life. Like you own a couple of properties, one you're mortgage free on, you drive a wonderful AMG Mercedes, you've got a beautiful daughter, you've got clothes on your back, you've got food in the fridge. You've got a lot to be grateful from my perspective. You've got good friendships, you've got people that care about you, you've got wonderful family upbringing that have incredible ethics and morals installed in you. Once I broke it backwards and peeled the layers back, he could kind of see that, yeah, shit, I feel bad because I'm looking at it from a ungrateful position of the 5% I don't have rather than the 95% of the stuff I should be super grateful for. And I said, well, mate, Australia's a very fortunate and privileged country. Like you couldn't even die in this country if you tried, really, right? That's how fortunate we are. And there'd be people on this call, watching this call, that come from cultures in other countries that when they see how we live in Australia and how blessed and fortunate and privileged and how much gratitude we should have, gratitude is the greatest asset that anyone can install in themselves, hands down, mate. So I think sometimes it's very easy for us to look at what's not right and be ungrateful for it, but flip the question and go, okay, well, I'm maybe not liking that aspect of my life, but what is it I can be grateful for? And that's all I had to help my friend open his mind up to really understand. And it's funny, when he left the call, he came into the call very dark, constructive, negative. He left the call saying, mate, thank you. I'm actually grateful for this call and I'm grateful for our mateship. Mate, if you can leave this call with that, no, I'm always here for you and I'm grateful for you too and our friendship. So grateful is a word we should be using more regularly throughout our days, because you got clothes on your back, Rob, you got food in the fridge, you got bills paid, you're not out in the streets, you're alive, you're breathing. And I was speaking to somebody yesterday and they said, how are you? I said, I'm awesome. She goes, oh, why do you use that word? And I knew straight away when she questioned this, here's a mindset challenge with this agent. They've got a mindset issue. I said, what do you mean? She goes, awesome. That's like an Americanized word. Why would you say that? And I said, well, because it's how I'm feeling. Because today I woke up the right side of earth and I'm still breathing. So for that, I feel awesome. And I'm incredibly grateful. Oh, I don't like that word. So straight away, I know that agent, there's a bit of a mindset. Gratitude issue that's going on there. I can read it straight away within 15 seconds of connecting with her.
It's like a billboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a billboard.
Yeah. 100%, mate. So
Yeah. And
gratitude,
so
gratitude.
and not
Every
to pick on that particular agent, but so that agent is feeling that way, and then they go into their prospecting with that energy, they go into their appointments with that energy, they go into their appraisal with that energy, and the people are going, I don't know, there's just something off with this agent, I don't feel like they're the right agent for me. And so then they get the Dear John phone call, text message, whatever, now we've gone with the other agent. So that actually just replicates in that person's brain that life's not good. But when you go, I'm awesome, I'm amazing, that's my favorite thing to say to someone at Kohl's or Woolly when they go, oh, how are you today? I go, I'm amazing. And they go, what, you freak? You know, like it's a fantastic thing. But guys, those are just some tried and true tips to work with you in your mindset. There's been some resources that were shared in here by Dwayne as well. If you want to go back and pick up, do some a Google search on growth mindset, you'll see Carol Dweck's work there. There's some YouTube videos and stuff. But guys, we just want to share that little bit of information with you, because as we work through this agent mentor program, we want to bring lots of different aspects of what can improve and empower your business, because we have an amazing vehicle here at EXP, and we want you to maximize everything that's on offer here. Chris, final word to you.
I promise you today, if you go out and visit and see people walk into their house and their living rooms, and you sit down with them with a mindset of just having gratitude, you will get more business. I promise you that. One of the things I always used to say, Rob, leave your shit baggage at the front door, never take it in the home, right? Don't bring your shit baggage into the office, right? Leave it at that front door. When you come in that front door, that baggage stays out there. We all got baggage, right? Everyone's got baggage, but it's a matter of where you're leaving that baggage. Walking in, being present, and just show gratitude. You'll be amazed. Business will naturally come to you. You know how many people I've had say to me, I just want to do business with you because of your energy. It's infectious. Well, where does energy come from? Being grateful for what you have, who you are, right? So if you're grateful, energy, it will come to you.
Yeah, very good. Well done. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on this AMP session, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thanks,
legends.
Thanks, everybody.